From the keyboard to the boardroom, this is the business of esports. From the keyboard to the boardroom, this is the Business of Esports podcast. I am Paul Dawalibi. I'm joined today by my friend and co-host, Jimmy Barada. For those of you who are new to the podcast, welcome to the official podcast of esports. What we do here is we cover the most pressing gaming and esports topics and news of the week, but we look at all of it through a business and C-suite lens. We dissect, we analyze the business implications of everything happening in this industry. For our regular listeners, thank you guys for tuning in every week. Thank you for all the love, the support, the 5-star ratings and reviews. If you haven't already, go leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Google Play or wherever you listen to our podcast. We really would appreciate it. It helps others to discover the show. Jimmy, how you doing this week?
Busy week as always. Finally catching up from being out of the office where we were at EBS, about a week and a half ago in Austin. And it finally feels like I have my first real week, back in office kind of week under my belt. So that's a good feeling to not be on the go for a change.
Did you feel like you caught up now? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, you have backlogs of emails, backlogs of LinkedIn messages. You have 100 things on the to-do list. And I'm finally in that space where, the machine is running and there's nothing kind of lagging. So I like that.
It's been interesting. I've been getting this week lots of people. It's always a fun week when, and we're going to get to this news, I'm sure, on the live stream later. But for those of you who, just a shameless plug here, we do a live stream every Wednesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, where we cover a lot of the news that doesn't make it into the podcast, which these days is pretty much all the news because we have such amazing guests. And I've never had so many messages, I think, in 1 week going, "Oh my God, you were right about Bobby and Activision Blizzard." Like, it's such a disaster. So I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of Activision Blizzard talk later, which should be fun. But I am going to pat myself on the back, Jimmy. I'm just getting you ready for it.
I'm definitely going to save my 2 cents for the live show on that one, but I know our fans are excited to hear it.
We do have an absolutely amazing guest on the podcast today. I'm a user of their product, which is always cool. I also think it's one of those products and one of those companies that has transformed the streaming and gaming landscape in a really big way. We have none other than Doron Nir on the podcast today, who is the co-founder of StreamElements. Doron, welcome to the Business of Esports podcast.
Hello. That was the most enthusiastic introduction I ever got in my life, I think. So thank you so much for that, Paul and Jimmy.
I am a big fan. I love what you guys do. I think,
thank you.
I will say that I've been talking for years now about the most exciting part of the gaming and esports space being a lot of the picks and shovels, a lot of the infrastructure. And I think you guys are such a core part of that. But Doron, for our listeners who maybe don't know about you, don't know about StreamElements, would love if you could give them a bit of your background, how you got into gaming, how you got to StreamElements, what you're focused on there now, just a bit of the story.
Sure. So I'll actually start from StreamElements. I'm less important. StreamElements is a platform for live and VOD content creators. We provide live creators with the full stack of tools that they need to stream on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Trovo. These are the platforms we have an integration with. In terms of what that platform includes, it's essentially everything from a mechanism to collect live donations from your audience and seeing those nice alerts pop up on the screen, a chatbot integration that enables you both to control and moderate your chat, and also empower the chat with loyalty points, redemption of perks, and various other interactions and mini games that the creator can use with the audience. everything that has to do with the broadcasting software. We have our own plugin for OBS called OBS Live that essentially integrates our capabilities into the vanilla plain OBS, which is an awesome software, by the way, and a whole lot more. The reason we're doing that, StreamElements is absolutely free. If any of the viewers or listeners want to download it, there's no monthly fee, there's no fee, nothing. Just use it, enjoy, give us your feedback, give us ideas on how to make it better. This is what we need. We help creators make more money, whether it's through setting up their merchandising store, getting brand sponsorships, etc. And then we share that revenue with the creators. So we don't make money unless creators make a lot more money. And that is really a core component of our strategy. StreamElements is now used by over 1 million monthly active content creators. Over 60% of the top creators on Twitch, Facebook Live, and YouTube Gaming are using StreamElements for their day-to-day stream. We recently announced a $100 million funding round led by SoftBank, PayPal, and a lot of other great investors. That's it about the company in a nutshell. And we're hiring. We're hiring so much. If anybody of the people that listen to this want to work with us, want to join us, whether it's in the creator-facing side of the company or the product and engineering side of the company or the brand-facing side of the company, we are hiring for all positions. And there are really awesome jobs, both junior and mega senior. So please go to our website, streamelements.com/jobs, and apply. We need gamers. As far as myself, I am 48 years old. I'm currently based in Austin, Texas. Before that, I was in the Bay Area. Originally, I was born and raised in Israel, Haifa, then Tel Aviv, for those who know. I am a passionate nerd and gamer for over 20 years. Back in 1999, I started what is still the biggest publication about video games in the Hebrew language called VGames COIL. A lot of the executives and actually two of my co-founders were one of the original writing team on that website. I myself am also a content creator, podcaster. What more can I tell you? I'm a gamer, dude. I love the same things that you guys love.
Well, Doron, what are you playing? Let's start with the easiest softball question.
So I actually had a bit of time in the past couple of months. So I sort of closed a bit of the backlog, the massive backlog of games that I accumulated, because I don't know how it is for you guys, but when Christmas season comes, I must buy the best games of the year. I can't not buy them. I know that I don't have the time to play them. I know that they're just going to dry up on the shelf, but I can't help myself. It's been going like that for about 4 years. So right now, I finished a nice run of about 70 hours in No Man's Sky, which has been waiting patiently for me to pick it up for almost 4 years now. And I really enjoyed it. Wonderful work, Hello Games. You're doing a phenomenal job. The game is rich and exciting, and I'm a huge fan of space exploration in video games. So that was one of my fun games. Before that, Mario Party with the family. Me and my daughter had a whole competitive thing around Overcooked Part 2. I'm just starting Ghosts of Tsushima. And apart from that, I've been playing consistently over the past, 5-7 years, Destiny, EVE Online. I play a whole bunch of shit on mobile. I will basically download and try everything that anybody will tell me is worth playing on mobile, because it's such a wonderfully interesting, experimental lab of gameplay mechanics. Spider-Man, both the original in its PS5 version and Miles Morales, which is unbelievable. I can go on for like an hour. Let's stop here, okay?
So, Doron, let me ask you maybe the most obvious business question to start with, which is, first of all, congrats on the 100 million. That is not an insignificant raise. How how has that transformed your business? How is that like? What is changing? I guess with StreamElements post this raise.
Yeah. I think the simple answer is growth. StreamElements was a company, over the first 2 years of the company, we barely generated any sort of revenue, nor did we really know what we're going to make our money from. Our strongest hunch was that this is going to come from brand sponsorships, but we didn't know for sure. And we contemplated multiple business models, and eventually we decided that we're gonna do a full stack of revenue generation models for the creators. So direct donations. Currently, we do tens of millions of dollars in that going to creators. We don't take a cut from that at all. We are a zero commission tipping platform. Merchandising and e-commerce, we have several tens of thousands of stores that are running on our platform, and we essentially facilitate the entire operation. All the creator needs to do is upload the graphics and collect the money, and we share some revenue on that. And brand sponsorships, which is really where I think is the biggest opportunity for gaming media today. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, let me push a little bit though, because I'm curious. Like,
yes.
Do you become sort of a victim of your own success? And let me describe what I have in mind here. Right, like I would argue you guys and maybe one other, and I'm going to ask about them in a few here. But maybe
StreamLabs. That's give our competitors
your
the
competitor,
honor
right?
they deserve. Absolutely.
That's it. You and StreamLabs, like StreamElements and StreamLabs, to me built this entire piece of the industry, right? You guys are the two elephants in the room, and in some ways, in a lot of ways, it's been transformative, right? You look at any streamer on Twitch, pretty much they either use one or the other, and most streams today look pretty good as a consequence, right? Everyone has alerts, everyone has an overlay, everyone takes donations. Lots of streamers now do merch through your platforms, right? Like the reality is the quality of streamers has gone higher, right? So where you now have 1 million people who look like really professional streamers, even if they only have 10 or 15 concurrent viewers.
Yes.
When I say do you become a victim of your own success, is that like at some point when every stream looks so professional, am I likely to buy everyone's merch at that point? Like at some point, do you know what I mean? Where it used to be there were 5 or 10 streams that were really good, high production value. I would buy their merch. I would donate to them. When everyone is at the same quality level, is this good or bad for your business? Because my sense was
it's amazing. For our business, it's amazing.
Really? Is it not the case that the top 20% maybe drive 80% of the revenue for you guys?
It does. And I will tell you that it's a lot less than 20%.
Okay.
There are over 1 million monthly active creators on StreamElements. And as I'm sure you guys know from the recent leak on Twitch, probably less than 20,000 of the creators on Twitch make a living from streaming. And on Twitch, you have probably, 2 to 3 million monthly active creators. So the percentage of creators that are actually making a decent amount of money on the platform, whether it's us or Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, is very, very small. But this is the nature of entertainment-driven businesses. This is the nature of media. I think from our perspective, what you said about all streams enjoying a higher production value, all streams enjoying a higher level of audience engagement, is absolutely a good sign that this entire industry and this entire medium is maturing slowly but surely to become one of the biggest things that viewers spend time on in the world. And I think from that perspective, for me as a nerd and a gamer who was often mocked at because of my nerdiness and gamer culture. The fact that gaming culture and gaming and streaming and VOD creation around gaming is becoming such a massive pool of time spent by audiences is just the best thing ever. This is like, I can't even imagine, maybe people in the 60s that loved rock music and slowly it became the number one category of music played on the radio. That is what they felt. They felt that their sort of like secret club is now becoming mass media. And we are just seeing the beginning of that, mind you. This is only the beginning of what will eventually be the biggest cultural and media category in the world. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix, right about when Disney launched their streaming service, he said in a press conference that he's not concerned about Disney, but he is concerned about Fortnite. Mm-hmm. And that guy knew what he was talking about, because Disney, people who sign up with Disney and use Disney Plus don't stop paying for their Netflix subscription. But my 12-year-old kid, who is spending his entire free time in front of two monitors, one of them Discord, one of them whatever he's playing at that moment, whether it's Rocket League or Fortnite or Minecraft or Roblox, he doesn't give a shit about Netflix. He doesn't watch Netflix. He doesn't know that anything exists on Netflix until it appears as a Roblox game, which happened to Squid Game, and that's how my son heard about Squid Game.
Yeah.
Think about the meaning of this when you accelerate things 10 years into the future. My son is now 22 years old. He's just entering the work market. He's not consuming any of the existing mass media. Think of what this is going to do to the dollars, whether in terms of investments, whether it's brand dollars that are going to be channeled into gaming media in the next decade. That's a phenomenal thing.
It's massive. You're right. And I think where I'm with you completely, Doron, is I tell people all the time, I don't even think we've hit this massive inflection point yet, right? People think we've hit it, but I think we're still considerably earlier than that. I guess from a business model standpoint, though, do you guys then basically say we're okay with not making money on 90% of the creators who use our platform
99.
Because we know, or 99, because we know the 1% is a pool that's going to grow massively? Is that sort of the bet?
First of all, the 1% of deals with that top 1% can totally pay for the digital services that we're providing free for the other 99%, simply because those digital services are not very expensive. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is, the 99% are not just there to waste our time and resources. They are the stars of next year and 2 years from now and 3 years from now. In the top 10,000 creators on Twitch, 30% are switching every year. Okay, there's a huge turnover of 30% or more every year in the top 10,000 creators on Twitch. People start streaming, become stars, then they, lose a little bit of their shine, and at some point they say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go to college, and they leave and they go do something else. Very, very few sustain careers like Tim the Tatman or Shroud or Ninja that have been doing this for a decade and are really holding at the top in a really admirable way. And because of that, catering to the long tail, catering to the newcomers is one of our missions. It's part of why we exist.
Is there part of that strategy then that says, or part of your mission that says, how can we increase the number of creators who can make a decent living doing
Absolutely.
this? Like, is that part of the mission?
Yes. And it's really about two things. First of all, it's about expansion in mediums like that happens through globalization. I don't know if you know that, but in the history of YouTube, YouTube exploded in the US first. And you suddenly started hearing about people that opened a YouTube channel and became millionaires. Okay, by now it's billionaires, but back then it was millionaires. And that was like a gold rush. Everybody wanted to open a YouTube channel. And what you got is you had that pyramid of the top talent in the US. Similar pyramids started to appear in Germany, in France, in the UK. Just like any content market, it starts in one place and then it becomes global. And eventually, the global becomes so much bigger than the US. Right now on YouTube, I think less than 20% of viewership is coming from the US, 80% comes from everything else. So the majority of revenue that YouTube is making right now is probably not from American audiences. We are just in the tip of what is going to become such a massive revolution of media, that catering to that long tail and seeing them grow over time, year over year, unlocking new markets for them, whether it's through merchandising and being able to sell stuff in various other places in the world, or working with brands locally, and making sure that in Germany, the German creators are going to be the ones that enjoy those deals, etc. That is how businesses expand.
So Paul,
Go
if
ahead,
I could
Jimmy.
jump in and expand on that. I'm curious, when you're attracting then new streaming talent for your platform, is it purely organic, or how much do you rely on people within your company that identify up and coming talent, regardless of the region, and say, this is someone that really we want on our platform and to partner with? How do you go about, I suppose, attracting and acquiring, various levels of creator, whether it's that top Tim the Tatman caliber, or, someone with a moderate following, but like you said, can't make a living, but still has a great following?
So we are fortunate enough to have enough really nice people and even nicer creators say really, really good things about us when they're live. And we have literally hours of authentic testimonials by creators just praising our product and our service and saying nice things about us. And that drove the majority of our growth over the past 5 years. We will engage with top talent, to help them onboard our platform, because top talent usually doesn't do that work for themselves. They have a team, whether it's channel moderators or graphic designers, and we will work with those, talent to onboard our platform. But by now, such a huge majority of everybody who's live streaming is using StreamElements that it's really just about how we make more business rather than how we onboard talent. When it comes to VOD, I don't know if you guys know, but we launched a beta tool set for VOD content creators to increase audience engagement on VOD clips. It's called Mercury. You can find it on mercury.streamelements.com. And it essentially tries to bring to VOD creators the same kind of value that we have been bringing live creators over the past 5 years, which is real-time audience engagement, even though the content is pre-recorded and does not change. So we do this by gaining access and updating in real time the description of the video. So if, for example, you guys want to run a charity drive and you want to reach $1,000 in charity, or $10,000, we have the capability of updating a progress bar in your video description in real time, so that the audience can see and donate more towards that, essentially turning every video into almost a Kickstarter page. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but our next avenue for growth is really VOD content creators. We've already started working with some of the biggest talent in that space. And you're going to hear a lot of exciting things from StreamElements in the VOD space over the next 12 months.
Doron, you're one step ahead of me, because one of the things I was going to ask was, SoftBank's MO is really, putting lots of capital to sort of build some kind of very transformational vision, right? Something that's usually a lot bigger than the founder's original vision, something that's much more global, which you mentioned. But,
Yes.
my guess is StreamElements looks like a very different company 2 or 3 years from now. Is I don't know if you can tease some of that. Like what is the big vision that SoftBank bought into? I'm curious if that exists.
So the reason we started StreamElements more than 5 years ago is because of an observation that we saw in the market. 5 years ago, social platforms were fairly unique in their feature set. So Instagram was all about the photos. Facebook was all about the social graph, your friends, birthdays, family photos, trips, whatever. LinkedIn was professional. Twitter was all about microblogging. They all had their specific flavor. But because how cheap it is to build software, because it's so easy to copy features from each other, we identified a dynamic where all these platforms are going to start becoming very, very, very similar. And over the past 5 years, you have seen that unfold. All the platforms offer live video today. They all offer VOD. They all offer photos. They all offer blog posts. They all offer audio content. They all offer short form. That's the latest craze. Last year, we had witnessed what happens when a company I don't remember their name, the live audio company.
Clubhouse,
thank you. Clubhouse emerged into the market with a new feature set, live audio. It took less than 3 months, and this was available on Twitter.
Yep.
And that was it. Clubhouse.
We almost all forgot the name. So
is
literally just did.
Yeah. When you have platforms that are becoming increasingly similar, the only thing that makes them unique is content. And we knew that content creators and the creator economy is going to be the next big thing that will drive engagement in social media. And we wanted to be the company that will be there for these creators, no matter what platform they want to create content on, and provide them with the full stack of tools that they need to reach the widest audience and engage them in the most impactful way and make money with them. And I'm happy to say that this vision is really becoming more and more of a reality. One thing that we have not seen, and this is really going to be a game changer in the industry, I anticipated that at some point, creators are going to start streaming live on multiple platforms at once. And that still has not happened in a meaningful way. Mm-hmm. Once that happens, once Shroud is going to become a brand name that goes live every day on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, and maybe another platform at the same time, then you have reached the point where individual creators are overcoming the syndication problem, and they are now becoming the Oprah Winfreys of the next generation. And this is going to happen. And there's going to be thousands of those creators, not just in live, but in VOD. And all these creators are going to have podcasts, and they're all going to have their own brands of fashion and merch and hardware. And it's going to be a future where the platforms, the distribution platforms, are very similar. And what matters are who are the creators, who are the influencers that you follow.
Interesting. This is a bit of a tangent, and it's definitely a rabbit hole, but I want to go down, Doron, a little bit with you because I think you have particular insight here. But I'm with you 100% on the creator becoming the brand, the creator being the draw, the content, content's king. This is not, right? This is obviously I'm with you on this. And I love where you guys are at, right? You're in the middle of a gold rush and you're selling the picks and shovels.
We're giving them for free.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But we are sharing the gold that people find. So it's a better business model, and it's also, who doesn't want to get free picks and shovels?
But we've seen, and this is the pushback I get because I agree with you 100%. We've seen creators move off of platforms, right? And and it hasn't translated one-to-one, right? They've either lost a good chunk of their viewership, or their revenue has gone down, or whatever it is. Why do you think that is? Like, if we all believe the creator's the draw, right?
So first of all, this is going to take time.
Okay.
And you know, if you are a person that is used to the content consumption experience on Facebook, then you are going to want to consume Mr. Beast content on Facebook. We still have that pattern of behavior where people, you know, they want to see Mr. Beast on Facebook. I don't know if they're actually going to go and watch him on YouTube or on another platform. We're not there yet. And that is because the platforms have not become completely identical yet. That said, I believe that future is coming. The reason I believe that future is coming is that in two other areas of entertainment, it has already happened. The first one is gaming. Platforms are basically identical. If I gave you a controller and your eyes were closed, you would have a hard time to distinguish Fortnite on Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch, assuming the controller is similar.
Yep.
Because the graphics are becoming so advanced, the chips are, similar in all the platforms. There are minute differences, and because of that, I love the PS5 and I love the Xbox, and I would buy both of them, but I'm a nerd, so that's just me. Most people will buy one, and they have all the games available there. And then the war becomes over content. The second area where this happened is streaming. Streaming services have advanced so much over the past decade that in terms of user experience, it is very hard to distinguish between HBO Max, Disney Plus, and Netflix. They all have the gallery, they all have the image, they all have the video previews, they all show you the same thing. I actually think that if we're talking about streaming services, Amazon Prime gave a massive leap in the past year thanks to the integration of IMDb data into their streaming platform, which is something nobody has, and it makes me want to watch more things on Amazon Prime. But that gap is also going to close. Yep. And because of that, I believe that social media is going in that direction. And when it does, then you will not care about the platform. You will care about the content and the content creator.
Interesting. And so in your mind, what is that time frame in our space here in sort of?
So I think that time frame really depends on the maturing of the audience, which is biological. So we're talking about a decade. Okay. But think about it this way. Let's talk about short form, which is the newest of the social media video forms that we have seen. Do you think you can make a distinction that is strong enough between the short form experience on TikTok and on Reels? Or are they identical to you?
Identical.
Yep.
So you're there. Anybody who consumes Reels cares about the content creator more than they do about the platform or the experience. I don't know how many people even know that they're consuming Reels. They would consider that TikTok. It's just the TikTok of Instagram. So it's completely agnostic.
Let's talk about a little bit, sorry to change gears here, but we mentioned Streamlabs earlier, right? Being the other competitor in the space.
Yes.
I'm curious, Doron, how you think about StreamElements versus Streamlabs, right? Like how you position the company or see your company differently versus them, what you think you guys do better versus what you think they do better. Like, I'm just curious how you think about the competitive pressure in the space.
Yeah. First of all, I am very, very respectful of competition, no matter where it's coming from. And I have to say, Ali Moise, who built Streamlabs, and he essentially took what was known as Twitch Alerts and rebranded it as Streamlabs and built their own OBS and built essentially a full stack of tools, very similar to StreamElements, but not free, and ours is better. He is a phenomenal entrepreneur, and my hat's off to this entire team. We respect them very much. That said, The biggest difference from my perspective is that our platform was built from the ground up as a pre-integrated piece of software, while Streamlabs essentially meshed together multiple functionalities that the company acquired. And because of that, we've heard from creators that the editing and customizing experience in Streamlabs is not as superior as StreamElements. I wouldn't know for myself, to be honest. So this is just a word of mouth kind of thing. The second thing is that they charge a price. Streamlabs is I think, either $10 or $15 a month service. StreamElements is absolutely free, every single feature across the board forever. That's a big difference. If you're a newcomer and you want to work with a platform that is both more robust in terms of its customization capabilities and free, StreamElements is the choice.
Do you find yourself sort of keeping track of the big creators who are using their product versus the big ones who are using yours? Like, is there competition at that level, at the creator level, where you're actively trying to get some of them to switch? Or
yes, I can share with you that we had an interesting moment about a year and a half ago after working with Tim the Tapman for, I don't know, probably several years and having a wonderful relationship with him. He got sponsored by Streamlabs, which is something that we don't do. We don't pay creators, but he got sponsored by Streamlabs and moved to that platform. And that was a dark day in our company. We were so sad to see him go, but dude, this is business. This is not war. This is not life or death situations. We wished him well. We gave him all the help that he needed to transit to their platform. And we will be here for any creator that wants to work with us when they choose to work with us. That's simply how we roll.
Doron, does the $100 million financing change that math for you, though, where now, you've got a big pool of capital that you could go and sponsor every big streamer or the top 20 big streamers? Or
No. Okay. Absolutely not.
Interesting.
We are not using funds to buy creators to use our platform. Our platform needs to stand on its own right. It needs to be chosen by creators rather than paid for. And I can tell you that these funds are going to go to, number one, more robust product, better services, deeper and more customizable audience engagement mechanism, and our expansion to VOD creators, where we see a lot of potential. I need to remind you and all the audiences, VOD content in the gaming category is still 7 times bigger than all of live put together.
Yeah.
So in terms of potential of audiences and hours watched and everything that we measure our success by, VOD must be the future. And that's where this expansion is going to go to.
It's interesting because, sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
No, I'm assuming also that same mentality, Doron, that you just gave regarding your organic growth and how you attract top content creators. I'm imagining that's the same for all facets of your company, growing your incredibly impressive Discord server, 250,000 users in there, your Twitter account, your 1.1 million users, at least that was the last number I saw, if you have an update for us, but just pure organic kind of brute force play.
Yes.
Doron, look, sorry, go ahead.
I don't, we are fortunate enough to have our customers that are actually influencers. And that's one of the most amazing things in the creator economy. The entire creator economy is based on people who are content creators. And because of that, they are constantly sending out great pieces of content into the ether, into the digital sphere. And if you can be on their good side, and it has to be authentic, it can't be paid, it has to be authentic. I've been listening to podcasts for over a decade now, and I've heard all the sponsorships, all the spots by Joe Rogan, by Mark Maron, by the ones that are inserted and the ones that are authentic, the ones that are read by the podcaster, the ones that are pre-recorded by somebody else. You feel it in your gut when the creator is passionately recommending a product. And because of that, our best criteria for success is when a creator says something nice about us. And when they do, it's authentic. And when it's authentic, it brings in the audience. I think in the world today, audiences are better equipped and most sensitive in history to the difference between bullshit and real. It's even in the intonation of the voice. When you hear a creator doing a sponsorship for a product that they got paid for, but not necessarily fans of, you hear that. You hear that because they sound like they're almost compelled to do it. They do it passionately because we are all professionals, but it's not authentic. It's pre-scripted. They're reading from a page. They're doing it wonderfully, but they're reading from a page. When you get authentic recommendations, you go and check it out.
So this is a conversation we've had a lot recently, and I'm curious, Doron, having these people that truly believe in your product, how important is it to you to also have those individuals, and this is to Paul's point and kind of reading his mind here, individuals that are really can speak as an authority? You had mentioned how robust your platform is, the difference between you and your competitors, fundamentally by design. I'm curious, the creators that use your product, not just being authentic, that it's true to them, that that they love it, that they love using it, but also ones that actually have that technical knowledge that can appreciate those nuanced differences between your competitors. How important is that to you guys?
That is important, but that is why we cultivate our amazing creator community and our creator success team, which is an entire team of StreamElements employees that just work day and night on making sure that everybody who wants to use us will get to enjoy the full extent of the platform. I think that no company today can afford to grow without a supportive community, especially not in gaming, especially not in the content creation around gaming, which is like the most hardcore part of gaming. Every game company needs to have a community. Every streaming platform needs to have a strong community. We are very proud of the individuals, whether paid or volunteering, that contribute to that community every single day and helping all creators, whether small or very large, to onboard our tools and enjoy the most of them. But we are investing heavily in cultivating that community so that it will be there for all the creators that come next.
Doron, our listeners know they call me the prophet of esports. I will always speak the truth, paid or not. They're always going to get the direct truth. And my truth here is I love what you guys are doing. Congratulations
so much,
massively
Thank you so
on
much.
the success. I mean, there's half a dozen companies in the gaming industry right now that are killing it, that are really setting the path for everybody else, and I put you guys in that group. So major accomplishment and major congrats to you, Doron, and what you've built. Truly amazing. I will say, if people want to find you, because that wraps up this week's podcast, guys, if people want to find you or follow you or find StreamElements, like what should they go follow, or what should they go?
First of all, don't follow me. That'll make it weird. Just come and say hello. Second thing, I have a Twitter account. I'm not that active on it, but I respond, and I definitely read a lot of content on Twitter. My email, Doron, Doron at StreamElements.com. I have a profile on LinkedIn. I have a profile on Facebook. I'm a pretty available guy. So if anybody wants to reach out, please do. I don't promise I'm going to respond immediately, but I will do my best to respond to everyone.
And I will say this, guys, because I know I probably get 2 to 10 requests a week from people on LinkedIn asking me, they're looking for work in the gaming and esports space. And so definitely reach out to StreamElements if you guys, for our listeners who are looking.
So
because
Paul, if this is about a job, and I'm telling you right now, we have literally dozens of open positions in the company. Don't reach out to me. It's only going to slow you down. Just go to StreamElements.com/jobs. Go to our careers page. Apply for the positions. Even if you don't have experience in specific areas, write about your passion. Write in the cover letter that if you're a passionate gamer, if you want to go into this industry, what have you done so far? Which communities did you help build? Which computers did you schlep for an esports event? Whatever, just, share with us your passion. We are really, I can tell you right now, our company has tens of employees that did not finish college, did not work in any glorious company before that. They are passionate about this space. This is the first job that they're doing in gaming. And we are happy to have them because they are killing it, because passion wins everything. If you're passionate, you're going to learn, you're going to work hard, and you're going to do well. So send those people to our careers page, and we would love to consider them for one of our positions.
I encourage our listeners to go and apply, and I know I will direct the people who reach out to me directly to go do that as well. So really appreciate you guys supporting the community like that and hiring people who maybe come out with no experience. Also, that I think is massively beneficial to the industry as a whole. Doron, thank you so much for being on the show. Jimmy, thank you as always. For our listeners, just a few reminders, guys. Make sure to follow us everywhere on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. They're all the same as we talked about. Just follow Business of Esports everywhere.
Not the same, but relatively similar.
Relatively similar. And also, quick reminder, every Wednesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we do a live stream. We cover all the news from the past week. It's a bigger cast. We do it live with you guys, the fans. You get to ask questions. You get to get in our faces. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Wednesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Doron, Jimmy, thank you guys so much. That wraps up this week's podcast, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.